Hey Flosstube, this is Tara with wildewomancrafts back in a somewhat timely fashion. It has been 3 weeks since my last Flosstube, and I think it's going to be a pretty short one today. Famous last words. But in the spirit of trying to keep a pretty good routine, I think it is going to be cool to have a quick little update here. It is summer. It is hot. It's very hot. I've been trying to commit to I've been since February on kind of a daily little walk journey. And that has been harder and harder to stick with, but I am trying to get out early in the morning. But I am also at work, so the whole if anyone wants to slide into my DMs and talk about solutions to getting your steps in and office wear, would love to chat. But anyway, you're here for cross stitch, hopefully. And that is what we're going to talk about. So I have 3 finishes to share, and one of them sort of an FFO that I don't have with me, but I think will be of interest to longtime viewers of the channel. So, anyway, let's get into it. So first up, I am participating in a second round of the Team Rogue Round Robin with Julie and Stitches, Julie of Kansas City, Girl in a Colorado World, and Miriam of Marumi Designs. And we are doing an Ink Circles round robin. We did one last year. We did another round this year. We had so much fun. So this is Reflections of Mexico. This is Julie and Stitch's piece, and I am the first recipient to get it after Julie did her quarter, and I am all done. So here it is. I'll get you up in there. This is so gorgeous. I love Julie's combination she went with here. So much to discover. I think my favorite thing is when I realized that there was little skulls in here. I thought that was so cute. And the little guitar, and I love this little central medallion we're making here. Very cool, very fun. This is 40 count Lagoon by Fiber on a Whim, and this is Gloriana in the color Cinnamon? Yeah, Cinnamon. Fantastic selection, Julie. I very much enjoyed this one, and I don't know when we're shipping again, but I am ready. Like I said, my goal with this is I do not care when it happens. I just don't want to be the holdup. So yeah, very excited to see what I get next, because I actually don't know what the other Julie selected this year. I don't think. I know Miriam did the Grecian Urn one, but anyway, the second one I have to share with you here was a start and finish since we last chatted. This is Kindred Friends, the Heart and Hand chart, the keepsakes exclusive for this year's StitchCon. I thought about it and was kind of I really don't want this to languish, because obviously, these motifs are applicable to any StitchCon year, but it's got this year on it. I bought it at this year's StitchCon. I want to do it in a timely fashion. So I did. And it's all done. So you may notice an extra border here. And if you went to StitchCon, I'm sure you saw this. Here, actually, maybe I can present this in another way. One moment. Ah, shoot. So I stitched this on a 28 count, and the model was stitched on a 32. But I was going to say, if you went to StitchCon, they were selling these magnetic frames that a 32 fits perfectly in, a 28 does not. That is unfortunate, because I really thought I was going to do this. That's fine. That is fine. But anyway, because I have a set of these, obviously. But all right, I will be looking for other ways to display this now. But anyway, this little extra border that says "This Way to StitchCon" on both sides was a freebie that I was able to download from the like StitchCon app this year. That was something new they introduced. I really like this piece. I had a little bit of doubt with the red thread. I purchased the called for threads, which I believe I hung up, but they're all classic colorworks, and I think you can see here, like, this looks much more, if you just look at that color, it looks much more pink and brown to me. I happen to have a couple strands that pulled a little more red that I made sure to prioritize for these, because I feel like this, you know, the Stitchy Bus is red, of course, and it's used all throughout here, but it is a more muted palette, and so I think, you know, everything in context, like, it does read red, but stitching that, I sort of started on this tree and then went over here, and just looking at that thread, I was like, that is not red, that's not even kind of red. But I trusted the process, and I'm happy with it, and I have my little 310 bead, so cute. So this is a finish, very happy about that. And that is all I have to say about that. Super cute chart, very fun. And I am, this is obviously scrap fabric I had, and I didn't really think about the count, but it's a 28, and I have so much 32, I should have made a 32 work, but it's all good. And then lastly, the fully finished object that I don't have with me that I want to share with you is, if you were with me at all last summer, I was working on a kit from Emily Peacock, who is a needlepoint designer largely, but she does sell some cross stitch kits. And my Montana friend had she'd purchased 2 kits, and stitched one herself and had me stitch the other. It was super fun. I have very fond memories of like watching Love Island and stitching on that in the evenings every night. And I was able to get it done. It's on big needlepoint canvas. You'll kind of, you can go back to those videos if you haven't seen that, but also you'll see the finish here. So she has had it since last year and finally fully finished them into pillows. So I stitched Felicity the Lobster, and then she stitched Tina the Crab. So hopefully you're looking at some photos here. But it's pretty amazing. I love them so much, and I love her cat modeling with them as well. So hopefully you're getting a kick out of those. So congrats to her and that fully finished team stitch there. So that was very exciting. And those kits are very awesome if you want to try them out. Next up, I have one start for you. So I mentioned in my last Flosstube that July 15th is National I Love Horses Day. And so Amity of Boomerang Stitches on Instagram and the Hathaway Stitchers on YouTube, she and I had kitted up Purple Transport here by Lindy Stitches. So we did do kind of like a change of the fabric and a conversion on the threads, but we wanted to remain very faithful to the image, but they are conversions, which I'm happy to share if anyone's curious. And we were also joined by Hillary of Subpar Stitches, who started another horse chart as well, but it's very cute. And here's where I am. Let's flap this over. So it's gonna be small. I would have been okay if this had been a little bit larger, but this fabric that we found at StitchCon was only available in 40 count. So this is 40 count Mudder with a U, Mudder's Milk from Lappin' Loops. And so far the colors you're seeing on here, this green and this purple, are Roxy Floss Co. And there are some called for DMC. So the little dark sprugs are DMC. And I have my nice little Stitch North needle minder because we bought the Roxy Floss conversion at Stitch North. And I think it's coming together. I think it's looking right. I'm excited. I'm excited. So that was a very fun start this week, and this is going to be the width of it. This is 100 stitches across, and I got all that fill there, but you know, I feel like I'll do a little alternating because it's a big horse. It's like a little under 2,000 stitches in that horse. So anyway, we'll be happy to follow the progress on that. And I think this is maybe the first lap and loops I'm stitching on. I think I own another piece, but I don't know that I've actually stitched anything on it, so that's kind of cool. So that was the start this week, and then other than that, I only have 2 whips to share with you, but that's because they both have some major progress. So first up, you know where you love her. It is the Extraordinary Bird Sow by Lola Cross Stitch. And since I'm filming this on Thursday, haha, I am caught up. There will be another part tomorrow, and then we will get our second break, which will be nice. And we got the teaser today, so looking forward to seeing it tomorrow. Get my needle minder out of the way here. Yes, so here's where it was before. Hopefully you're looking at that. And, flying needle here. Here is where it is now. So, the thumbnail. Yes, I am trying to think. I don't think these guys were in last time we chatted. I think maybe the toucan and the shoebill were in, not sure. But yeah, we got these little jumping birds and the little ladybird. She's not very impressed. Not very impressed with the performance at all. And then, yeah, coming up, we have our stinky birds. And then as of this past week, we have our rhinoceros hornbill. That's what he's called. And what is cutting into his wing? I'm so curious. I was so surprised by the placement of this one because there was no gap in the frames. You know, it's like, obviously we have some gaps that we know are going to hold other things. So I'm like, you weren't supposed to be up there. And obviously something else is going to like feed into that. So I'm just like, this design is really filling out. And it is now funny because I was like, oh, it looks so full. But I mean, now it's really starting to fill and you're starting to really see where the gaps continue to be. So I am loving it. It's all called for. This is a 40 count fabric. I believe after conferring with the person who gave it to me that it is most likely a Jody fabric of the Steel City Stitchers, but it's a 40 count Verdal. And I think it's looking fantastic. All the colors look amazing. And I'm very happy with it, that I am keeping up with it. And anyone who's keeping up with my brother's girlfriend and her friend who are also embarking on this, they're doing really good. They're doing really good. They're not 100% caught up, but Haley's certainly holding her own compared to the aquarium last year. I think it got a little bit of the best of her. And then her friend has also been staying very consistent. And then this is going to be pretty exciting for all of you tea glass enjoyers out there. So this other whip I have for you is Tea Glasses by 8 Pixel. There's a website we found this on. So basically this piece has been a little bit of a frustration for me. I've not always enjoyed it, but it apparently y'all do, because for my friend Whip Go board, where my friends are calling what I work on in a month, 3 times it has been called, and with not an insignificant number of stitches, and I had not completed a single one of those calls. So I, as of last video, kind of put a challenge to myself via Hillary of Subpar Stitches that I'm gonna try to maybe finish this summer. And I did get a fair amount done here. I'm over halfway, I believe, but it's been slower the last couple of weeks. But, well, not the last couple of weeks, but the last week, I would say it's slowed down a little bit. So we got to get back into it. But without further ado, here's where it was. And here it is now. So I hit the side. I hit the other edge. So that is what is most exciting. I finally kind of pivoted, and quite honestly, it's because I brought this to work and I didn't have some of the colors I needed to finish filling this out. Because they've been, you know, rehoused in other projects. So I sort of started working down in this area because I was like, well, maybe it'll feel good to get that on the bottom. And it is nice because basically all of this fill down here is like shadows of, you know, or like not really shadow, kind of shadows, but also like the light coming through the glasses. So it's a lot more blocky than what is going on inside the glasses, which has been a nice break, and it's helped me feel like I'm really accomplishing something. But I have, as you can see, I've started the outline of the third glass here. So pretty exciting. It's looking good. I feel like it's gonna just look incredible from a distance. And I switched to a ball tip needle, which has also helped a fair amount. I put the Whip Go needle minder on there to remind me. So I've officially finished my February call from Hillary again of these stitches, and I am like halfway through the next person's call of this, which would be Stephanie. Yeah, of course, it's close. So I'm about halfway through Stephanie's stitches. So I need to get back to this. And I think I'm gonna keep focusing in the shadows, because at least in terms of like just getting some dang stitches in this, because like from here down, it's 100% filled in. Like I said, I'm gonna start having to make choices about where I'm cutting the background color and what stitches I'll still include. Because there's like a line of the background color like in here. And like, I'm probably gonna just go ahead and stitch that, but anyway. So some choices to be made, but I think I'm going to continue to focus down here because it feels quite satisfying to have hit that hard edge and be like, all right, let's start filling. So here she is. Amazing. And then, yeah, speaking of Whip Go, that is still kind of, again, the only plans I'm really holding to. So my June Whip Go I didn't finish either, because that's what Marjorie called Moths in the Moon and Stephanie called Tea Glasses. Like I said, I'm working on that. And I also, once I get done with this, I do want to rededicate. I want to try to catch up on those Moths in the Moon stitches. But for July, my friend that goes by Librarian Friend, the moniker, she called Tea Glasses as well. And then my sister called 400 Stitches on Fozzie, which is a printed custom chart my friend got for me that is a photo of my cat that I've not worked on in a long while, so that one will be fun to see. But 400 stitches, there's still hope for this month, I would say. I've been doing better. I feel like StitchCon really did kind of get the juices flowing again, the mojo back, if you will. My total stitch count for June ended up being 9,570 stitches, which is more than the average for me this year. So that's kind of exciting to see. And I don't know, how is July going so far? I've had some big stitchy days so far in July. So I'm already at 7,000 for July. So July's been quite a stitchy month, which I think was the same last year. Very interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going with that. And yeah, geez, it's been a tight 18 or under 20 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to keep up on Whip Go best as I can. I regret to inform you. So look, I got the shirt and everything. I was excited for Midsummer Stitch. But this is a good reason to miss, but I will not be participating in the way I had hoped to, because as of, so this is Thursday, last night, my mom talked me into planning a last minute trip to Austin. So I'm going to do an in and out this weekend, basically. I don't think I've ever done this tight of a turnaround anywhere. But there, one fun fact about me is when I was living in Austin, my mom and I were in a community steel drum band, and the band leader, the man behind it all, is moving, and which, funny enough, he's gonna be on the East Coast. He's gonna be closer to me, so I'm kind of like, can I get back into steel drums a little bit? But obviously a huge loss in the community of Austin for sure. And so his going away party is this weekend, and I am going to go, which feels insane, but we're going to make it happen. So I am, flying in Saturday, coming back Sunday, which is crazy, but it will be fine. It will be fun. It will be worth it. I will be tired. But anyway, so obviously that means that will be a lot of time over Midsummer Stitch, put it that way, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We are showing up for people, which is exciting. And like I said, it'll be worth it. I am going to try to pop on and go check the shopping haul at one point or another. Maybe I'll try to pop into a room, but unfortunately, yeah, I was planning on kind of being camped out for Midsummer Stitch, but alas, that is not to be. But that is all good. And other than that, that's kind of all I have. In terms of like reading, watching, playing, I am starting my first read ever of the Lord of the Rings series. I feel like I maybe read The Hobbit. I don't even know if I made it through though, because I might have been closer to right out of college when I was like trying to get back into reading it all, but had not found success. So I am listening on audiobook, the Fellowship of the Ring. I'm liking it so far, and so that'll be great for this weekend, because I mean, my library, it's only a 2-week rental, and sometimes they don't let you renew. I think it kind of depends on like what the wait list is like. But I put that book on hold in April, early April, and just got it. So I imagine I will not be allowed to like re-request it. So, anyway, it's a 22-hour audiobook, so I need to get to listening. So I think it'll be nice to have those flights to do some of that. And I think I'm planning on taking my knitted sock, since it's one night. I'm trying to not like plan crafts, but I just, at this point, like I need something, like, am I just gonna listen to an audiobook? That's insane. I need something to do with my hands. So I'm gonna bring my knitted sock, which I had aspirations of finishing this year. So hopefully I can get some dedicated time on that 2-hour flight. And then, so yeah, reading, watching. I'm still woefully behind on everything. I've not really caught up on this season of Love Island UK. I'm not really a Love Island USA girl. I'm finally starting the new season of Yellow Jackets. Yikes. What did I just finish watching this season? The Bear. I watched the new season of The Bear. Like that as well. And then in terms of playing, I have been playing quite a bit of co-op games. If you watch Michaela of Cinematic Stitches, these will be repeats, but I have been playing Peak, which is a like cooperative climbing game that is quite silly. And then also the Steam Summer Sale got me, and I did purchase Repo, which has been out for a while. I'm a little late to it, but it has been hysterical and has really pushed the boundaries on me tolerating like scary stuff. I mean, it's funny because there's definitely a lot of levity to that game, because like the characters you play as the little robots, they're like quite silly looking. And it's like very kind of cartoonish, but at the same time, like scary things are kind of coming out at you. And as someone with an extremely low like horror tolerance, the first time we played, there ended up being a point where I was like the last player alive, and you can't hear like your teammates once they have died. So I was just alone, and it was like the first time we had played, my Fitbit was like going off because my heart rate was like 130. I was shaking. I have become a little more desensitized to it, and I am having more fun now. I ended up sort of just like, I needed to watch clips and like understand what I'm like looking at and what it does and what it reacts to. Like, I just needed more information, and now I am having a bit more fun with it. It is not quite as scary. But that's been kind of an interesting adjustment for me. And I am back to Disco Elysium on the Switch 2. I did get my hands on a Switch 2, and one of my big gripes with it is that on the Switch 1, it started crashing, and I was having struggles being motivated to play that game anyway. And so for it to, and it's a very dialogue heavy game where you were just like listening to talking for a long time, which is not my most favorite play style either, but this is one of the most like renowned games in the world. So I mean, there's got to be some reason it's popular. Anyway, so to go through like really long conversations and then have the game crash and have to go through those again was not it. So now that I have a Switch 2, I have booted it up and knock on wood, it is not crashed on the Switch 2. So it seems to be running better, which is very exciting. So we're still making our way through that. I am liking it a little more, not loving it yet. But I think I am like over halfway through the story. So if nothing else, I can like say I'm getting to the point where I will be getting around to saying I have done it. That was a long explanation, but that is what is going on. Get us right to about a half hour. That's a great time for a video, right? That's a great run time. Yeah, hope you're all still taking care. I'm just looking around. Yeah. I think that's all I got for you. I haven't bought anything. Like I said, might pick up a digital pattern or two at Midsummer Stitch, but nothing otherwise. And yeah, hope y'all are staying cool if it's summer where you are and laying low and stitching. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I hope to catch you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.